Hey everyone, Reg here, and welcome back to the blog. Those of you who have been following along, you know that I am doing the Master Cleanse, and I am today on day 8. So it was a pretty uneventful day. I would say the only thing kind of out of the ordinary is I had a very, very bizarre dream last night, and I will not go into the details, but I'm actually thinking about going into a therapy session and like talking to a therapist about the dream, knowing that they would not be able to, interpret the dream for me in one session, but it would just be nice to kind of get that one off my chest. But anyway, that said, it's been pretty uneventful. I thought maybe today I could talk a little bit about some things that I've been doing to pass the time, to fill the time that I'm not using eating. Yesterday in my last blog entry, I mentioned that there's a lot of time. You get a lot of time on your hands when you're not going out and eating food, going out to buy food, going out to restaurants, preparing food, a lot of extra time. And one thing that I found is a great thing to do is clean your place, clean your house, clean your home. If you're cleaning inside, why not clean the area outside of you? And, so that's one thing that I've been doing, kind of pulling out furniture, going through old paperwork, and really getting my house clean. And you may notice that the space behind me kind of gets more organized each day. So that's that. Maybe I'll give you a tour. Another thing that I've been doing is I just started learning French. I just actually started. I had my first lesson this morning. I've been doing Rosetta Stone. I used Rosetta Stone to learn Spanish and got some pretty cool results. And I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I can pretty much hold a conversation. So I'm hoping that I can, at least be conversational, at least kind of get through, say, a business transaction in French, and it will be useful because I am going to Montreal. We're going to get in the car. We're going to drive up to Montreal at the end of the summer. And the interesting thing about Montreal is where I discovered raw food the first time. It was after I had done my first cleanse, and that was the Blueprint Cleanse, and I told you guys all about that. My friends who own the company, who have this great book called the 3-Day Cleanse, and that cleanse is the Blueprint Cleanse, and you can go to blueprintcleanse.com. Anyway, I had done that cleanse, and I was feeling awesome, and the last thing that I wanted to do is put kind of junky food in my body, and I knew I wanted things that were fresh, I wanted things that were crisp, and so I went and found like a juice bar and got like some more juice on the first day, and then I think ended up going to a restaurant and asking if they could just prepare me a plate of guacamole and cucumber. I was really aware that I was craving fresh produce. So got to Montreal, found a place that at least had some like salads, and I love asparagus, and I remember getting some cooked asparagus off the salad bar, thinking, it would be awesome. Took one bite of it, and I was like, yuck, I do not want this. Why ruin this vegetable has ruined as far as I'm concerned. And so I did a search for, just vegetarian restaurants. Had never even heard of raw food, and this, raw food came up. And there was a restaurant in Montreal called Crudescence, and went there, and one thing that they had that was really awesome was books on different ways to eat, and I found a book, my first book, by Victoria Butenko, I think is her last name, and I think it was called 12 Steps to Raw Food, and read that book and realized that this raw food thing sounds exactly like where I am right now. So I decided to, just try being a raw foodist, and I ended up being a raw foodist for about a year and a half, and then maintained a diet of, I was at least 75% raw food for about 2 years, and then somewhere in there I ended up going to Mexico, and it was almost impossible to maintain a raw food diet where I was in Mexico, and so that's what really kind of got me moving towards a non-raw, totally like 100% raw food diet. So that was the deal there. Anyway, so I'll be going back to Montreal, and I hope that by the time I get there, I will be able to speak some French. So there's a little bit more about me, a little bit more about what I'm doing. I'm on 8 days of what I hope will be a 21-day cleanse. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. In the meantime, have a great day and peace.